Message to any young entrepreneurs or any young creatives is just continue being your own boss. See, what happens is we get so impatient sometimes that we think that, you know, doing things for other people is going to make things jump forward faster. Man, still feeling sick. This rain is not helping, I can tell you that. But today, I'm gonna try to stay productive, and I'm gonna go feed my mind by going to find a book that I enjoy to read. We out. One thing I'm always gonna preach is having the mentality of being your own boss, and I feel like everybody has their own, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if I want to say thought process, or everybody has their own motto that they think you got to do to get there. A lot of people would say you got to work for someone else, you got to, some people would say just do everything on your own and just get your experience that way. And I don't know, before I really used to, you can get a lot of positives for working for someone else. When you're, I guess, in your learning stage or whatever, however you want to put it. But for me, I learned through experience, and I've always learned that way. So my message to any young entrepreneurs or any young creatives is just continue being your own boss. See, what happens is we get so impatient sometimes that we think that, doing things for other people is going to make things jump forward faster. And I don't really think that's the case most of the time. I do think you should provide value for other people, but you shouldn't devote all your time to that. Devote all your time to being your own boss. Devote all your time to your craft. Devote all your time to thinking about your next move.
A few inches later.
I seen things when I was younger that it just looked like everything was set up for people to be controlled. My brothers would probably hate me to say this, but, I grew up with my brothers being in gangs, so I seen their actions and the things they did. They were kind of controlled in a sense. I think my mom feared me going down the same path, and she decided to take me to a therapist. She seen how I was starting to act or whatever. I was picking up on things I was seeing, and that scared her. And I don't knock her for trying. I definitely don't knock her for trying, because sometimes you just don't know how you're going to get through to your kid. And she thought that this was the way. And I think I'll never forget, I went about 3 times. And every time I felt controlled. Every time I felt like, and no offense to Caucasian people, but there was a white male trying to tell me or trying to talk to me. But this guy didn't have to go live in the neighborhood that I lived in. This guy didn't have to live the life that I lived. And not to say that I lived the worst life. I was blessed to live my life. And I didn't have everything in the world, but I had things that maybe a lot of kids didn't have. So I was blessed. I had a roof over my head. There was food on the table. I didn't have my own room, but hey, I didn't really care at the time. I was living with my family.
A few moments later.
So my mom took me to see this therapist 3 times, and every time, man, I just felt controlled. I felt controlled. He had the coolest toys. He would bait me with the coolest toys, and he had this little basketball hoop. And for anybody that knows, I played a lot of basketball when I was young. And I'm sure that's probably a trick that many therapists use. You know, you got to let people feel comfortable, and then you do whatever you want them to do, because now they feel comfortable and they're gonna listen to you. And I don't know, like that just didn't sit right with me. So I think after like the third visit, because I didn't really have a choice. I was young, man. Like, if I could think of an age.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
It was somewhere between the age of 10, 7 maybe-ish. 7, 10-ish. You know, I don't really know off the top of my head, but after the third visit, like, I went to my mom and I begged her. Like, I think I cried too. Like, I said, listen, please, don't ever, like, take me back there. Like, whatever it is you see me do, I mean, I don't know if I said it in these exact words, but whatever it is you see me do, whatever made you decide for me to go there, like, I'll stop. I'll straighten up. I'll do the right thing. I'll do whatever it is you want me to do. Just don't take me back there. That's when I knew I was special.
10 seconds later.
It's totally fine to change your mind if you don't want to be in a situation. I mean, well, I didn't choose to be in that situation, but there's nothing wrong with changing your mind, man. It's not the end of the world. Like, my mom could have easily been like, nah, if I take you out of there, you know, you're gonna go. She could have had this mindset. If I take him out of there, he's gonna be just like this or just like that. And she could have made her own assumptions. But, you know, I really do thank her for hearing me out, at least. Hearing me out. And it wasn't no situation where, like, the dude did something. Like, he didn't, you know, he was totally professional. The only thing I didn't like is that I felt like I was being controlled. I didn't feel like I was being empowered. I didn't feel like there was just nothing that this, like, come on, like, this dude didn't have to live my life. So he was just doing his job. And I don't know how I knew this early on, but, like, thinking about it now, like, that's how I knew I was special. I know I'm destined to inspire other people to think like that. Like, no one should be controlled, yo. There's a lot of systematic things put in place so that all of us feel are being controlled, and some of us don't even know it, yo. You just gotta empower yourself, man. It's a hard road, and you might fail. If you fail, just get back up. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, yo. Some of the most successful people fail, and you don't even know it because they never really showed that side. They weren't showing that side. You know, you see them when they've succeeded, or, you know, when they're on, and it's like, you can't be scared. You know, I do things that feel right to me. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's for me to figure out. Like, I can't sit here and say I've been right every decision I've made. There's been times where I've been wrong, but then there's been times where I've been right. And I would have never figured out if I was right if I didn't take the leap. So anytime I make a decision, like, I'm hard on myself. I spend a lot of time thinking about, you know, when I'm going to make a decision. I never make a decision quickly. I don't think that anybody should do that. But just, man.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
That was a little story. That was super personal. And for me, at least, that's super personal. And I'm a quiet person. If you don't really know me, I can be quiet. Or if I'm going through stuff or there's a lot on my mind, I can be very quiet. And then if I'm comfortable, I could be very open. Extremely open. So there's just, you know, that's, I mean, I'm a Gemini. That could be the two sides of me. Some people think, like, oh, you're Gemini, there's a fake side. Nah. Like, I don't think I have a fake side. I just think I have moments and moods. Sometimes I want to be outgoing, sometimes I don't. Oh, all right, y'all. I had to switch to the GoPro. That way I can vlog in the rain. This is where the game's at, y'all. You can find things out on how to maneuver based on off people's experiences. Hold on, let's stop. Ironically, I take my first turn into this aisle without even knowing, and the book that I want is right in my face. Here it is, y'all. I think this book is going to be very helpful for me. And the reason why I want a hardcover, because I know a lot of people will say, well, you can just get it on your phone. You can just have it in your hand. Well, I want to be able to pass it on to another person. If it's in my phone, I can't pass the book on to another person. I mean, maybe there is a way, but I just haven't figured it out. So the reason why I love hardcover is I can take that book, and if it hits me a certain way, if I see someone or someone asks me a question and I feel like they can learn from it, I'm going to take the book and hand it to them and be like, yo, you ain't got to pay for it. Just read it and hand it to someone else. Just the creativeness of it, the eyes, just the yellow popping out. It's broken down into 3 parts. The first part is delusion, the second part is persistence, and the third part is gratitude. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy this book, and not to say that I'm not going to know, because I feel like sometimes I read things and I kind of already knew things, but it's just kind of like a letting me know again. And sometimes you need that. Man, I say all that, and this whole vlog is to just say this. If you feel special, if you feel like you have a skill, like you have a gift, like you stand out, then just keep feeding yourself information. Stay in control and just boss the fuck up. Your time will come. Stay patient and just be a shark. If someone's gonna shark you, shark them back so they can know that you're also a shark. Now I gotta go and enjoy this book on this ugly day. So I'll give you guys an update on my thoughts on the book once I read it. I love y'all. Hope y'all have an amazing day. Just stay blessed and keep your head above the water. Love, half heart. Y'all finish the rest.